Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ranger Dan Stevens with DeSoto National Memorial here in Bradenton, Florida. And today we'd like to talk to you a little bit about the Matchlock. The Matchlock is a weapon that is representative of our park story, which is about Hernando de Soto's 1539 expedition into the southeastern United States. The Matchlock would have been the main weapon that the conquistadors would have carried. It was a cutting-edge weapon at its time, and it was changing the face of warfare in Europe. The matchlock itself, gets its name because it uses a lit cotton cord called a match to fire. That match would sit right here and this little thing called a serpentine, and when the trigger is pulled forward would ignite a priming powder, which would then set off a charge that would propel a lead or stone musket ball out of the barrel into the bodies of their enemy. Now back in Europe, this weapon was fantastic. You would use it in firing at opposing lines, large groups of people marching straight at you. But here in the New World, this weapon would have many issues. First, it was highly inaccurate. You only got about 20 to 30 yards of range to guarantee what you're going to hit, what you point at. Native American people did not line up into big, large groups and march straight at the Europeans. They used cover. They hid, which would make it extremely difficult for the arquebusiers to be able to draw aim and fire upon their enemies. Now, the matchlock itself only consists of 3 parts. You have the lock here, which is a mechanical device that operates the serpentine and the trigger. You have the barrel, which is the hollow tube that you put your charge and musket ball down. And you have the stock, which is a piece of wood that ties all 3 components together to one weapon system: lock, stock, and barrel. Now, this weapon was developed over time. Gunpowder first being introduced into Europe in the 1200s. This simple weapon would have been the first weapon they would have seen during what was called the Reconquista, a series of wars fought between the Spanish and North African Moors or Muslims. The Moors would bring in gunpowder and this weapon called the gong, which is a hollow tube on a stick, used that they would load with gunpowder, mount on their shoulder, taking a lit match and lighting off. Now over the next couple centuries, the next couple centuries they would develop the matchlock into many different shapes, sizes, and forms, making it a stable weapon system, like this short pattern German matchlock that was used by German mercenaries called the Landsknecht. Now here in North America, the matchlock would first be introduced during Columbus's 1492 expedition into the Caribbean, and then would be later carried by Spanish conquistadors and expeditions into Central and South America, and then ultimately North America in 1513 with the first Spaniard, Ponce de Leon. Hernando de Soto himself would have 70 of these weapons. He would carry them through 10 different states on a 4-year, 4,000-mile expedition, and at the end of the expedition, after the men had used all their gunpowder, all their shot, they would then turn to the gun, melt down its components, make nails out of them, and use them to create boats to sail out the Mississippi River. What we're going to do next is we're going to show you several demonstrations of firing these matchlock guns. Thank you. What we're going to do now is we're going to fire our matchlock in a series of 27 commands. These commands were made in the 17th century by a gentleman by the name of Degain. Today we have adapted for use in the Park Service so that we can safely execute and fire this weapon for demonstration purposes. Shoulder, arms. Right hand to the weapon. Present arms. Blow out your pan. Handle your priming flask. Prime. Shut your pan, cast off excess powder, blow off your pan, cast about your weapon to the left side. Handle your charging flask. Charge your weapon and load your ball. For demonstration purposes, we do not load a real musket ball, but a piece of paper to simulate the gun firing. Draw out your scouring stick, make short, Ram. Draw out your scouting stick, make short, and put away. Present arms. In your right hand, take your match, blow on your match, cock your match, and try your match. Make ready. Take aim. Fire. Take down your weapon. Uncock your match. Blow out your pan. Shoulder arms. And salute. Now we will do a line fire demonstration, firing off both of our matchlocks, the short pattern, arquebus, and the calaver. Prime and load. Make ready. Take aim. Fire. Take down your weapon. Uncock your match.